This year, I'm moving a little differently with this podcast. Fewer episodes, more intention. I wanted to start this year listening to craft, to tradition, to endurance before offering my own reflection. So today, this episode is about where I am, where I'm going, and why I'm choosing a slower, more intentional pace. So if you've made it to listening to this podcast, welcome. You made it to 2026. This is the year of the horse. And from our previous episode with pro horse braider, equestrian, Jennifer Davis, you heard some amazing things that is pretty much new to us braiders. When I came across horse braiding, I had no idea what that was, that it even had a name, equestrian, and that there are so much similarities in braiders for people rather than for horses. But the one thing remains: tension. As an advocate about painless braiding and making sure that clients, individuals have a comfortable experience, I learned that equestrians do the same when it comes to horses. Because when you're working with horses, you have to make sure that they're comfortable. It can end up fatal or very harmful or hurtful if a horse is tugged at too wrong, if the energy is off, if things are tight, it would actually affect their performance, which it's a given, but a lot of people don't understand. There is a technique and there's a science behind braiding. And even with people, if you braid too tight, it's hard for them to sleep. It's hard for them to think and function on a day-to-day basis. The goal is to make sure you provide a comfortable experience for individuals. And learning from it also being the year of the horse. With horses, you think about strength, endurance, intention, and setting the pace. Knowing which direction you're going to go and trotting forward, or in either case, pressing forward. So if you haven't given episode 144 a listen, I suggest you go there and listen to it carefully and see how you can reflect in your own life when it comes to taking on the spirit of the horse, especially since this year is all about it. What the horse has taught me is endurance over urgency. Not every situation is urgent, but enduring to the end is all that matters. Making sure you finish the job. Whatever you start, make sure you finish it. And as I connect this with, but also with endurance, strength without force. There's ways where you can show your strength in certain things that you don't have to be forceful about, boastful about. You just show up because you know this is who you are and this is what you're providing. This is the service you're providing. And then it's movement with awareness. Horses, when they move, it's with precision, with awareness. They know what's happening around them. And how I kind of add this or connect this or tie this into my years of service and building a brand. People understand who I am. They see my signature. They know I'm a big advocate for education, for bettering the process, and for building community and connections. That is something that I'm very strongly convicted on. My practices with braiding and making sure the environment is comfortable, making sure it's convenient for myself as well as for my clients and also my students. So having accessibility, having an open dialect and conversation, allowing people to ask the questions, the hard questions, and giving them the answer has been a part of my entire existence as a painless braider. Also producing podcasts or educational materials or tutorials to making sure that those who follow me are equipped with the right information or just even the right demeanor. Energy is also everything when it comes to horses. So whatever you touch, it transfers onto to whoever you touch. So I'm very mindful of baggage I bring into a room, right? I leave it at the door. However, whatever a person is going through, whether it be a tough job, a tough life, a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one, physically, or even a heartbreak, or even celebrations, promotions, excitement in their life. As a stylist, as an educator, as a braider, you come in with either maintaining or improving a tone. And if you're doing it wrong, you're worsening that tone. And the goal for me, being with movement and having the intention behind it, you should show up everywhere that makes sense for you, that is aligned. And that's what I've been able to do, where the rooms that I'm in is very intentional, and the rooms that I leave is also intentional. This year, I recently shared with my audience that I am hanging up my braiding tools. And it's not a sudden decision. This is something that I've thought about for years after injuring myself. And I just kind of like listened to where I'm going. Over 25 years, I've been braiding. And what I've learned is there is a next step, right? I wanted to make sure that I could focus more on the education side. I'm only one person, so it is my goal to spread the knowledge, spread awareness about the techniques and crafts, and allow others to come in after me to do the work. And while I do this, of course, my intentions is to provide my current clients with access to respectful, painless braiders. And that's why I wanted to focus on slowing down, being intentional, and understanding the direction that I'm going. And as far as over time, braiding does take a toll onto your body. While you can do it, right? But there's also the next level of mastering the craft and teaching. And so stepping away from it isn't abandonment. It's just respect for the craft. This is where you turn to the next generation and you allow them to do wonders and take the torch and continue moving. So this is what I'm saying to those of you who are listening and who are aspiring to be better braiders or enter this industry, or if you want to know about the art, the world of the art or the craft, this is your chance. While I choose pace as a strategy, I'm very intentional about it. I think as braiders or as individuals in the service industry, we don't know when to slow down. We don't know our own pace. We are going without direction. We're going in survival mode, and that is not okay. There comes a time where you have to ask yourself, what is this all for, and where is it going? And that's what I did. In 2025, I realized I was going, and I burned out. And I decided 2026 as someone who is an entrepreneur and working for themselves. I'm being so transparent right now. As an entrepreneur who is working for themselves, I set my schedule, and I should be very intentional about the time that I put in certain things, the time that I put towards charity, towards family, to friends, towards my craft and my business, I have to set a set schedule for it so that way I know where my time is going and so I can manage it better. What I wasn't doing was managing my time well, so I felt very exhausted. I didn't I thought, "Oh, I don't have enough time for this," but I honestly did. I just was wasting it doing other things and with people who, rather than being aligned with where I was trying to go in life, they serve more of a distraction. And so I got away with that and I said, this is what I want. And I didn't want the world and life to pass me while I continue to keep my head down and work. I wanted to also enjoy life. I wanted to wake up and say, hey, I want to do a 5K. And honestly, I just did. While I'm recording this morning, I woke up. It was a snowstorm heading our way. I did the 5K and I came home and I beat the snow. And for for January, just being able to be as free as a horse and just run and feel the wind in my hair and just feeling my heart racing and doing things that I wanted to do, to sign up doing it by myself just because it was something I wanted to do. I knew that I'm on the right track of being intentional, because had I continued going in the pace that I was going, which was very fast and furious, I would have burnt out and I would have in no way, shape, or form been able to do a 5K and live to tell it. So I say this to say, auditing my life and understanding that there are things that I would like to do and that I can do. And whatever I would like to be, I can become it. But I also have to be honest with the things that are not working and removing them so I can do the things that are. The fact that I'm able to slow down, that shows leadership. That's being honest with myself. And even with the art of braids, I am doing lesser episodes for the year so that way I can be more intentional in the conversation and in what I'm trying to say. I have a lot to say and a lot to give, and I want each episode to be filled with inspiration, education, motivation, and with experience that can help you moving forward. Being intentional, it protects your creativity. Like being disciplined, consistent, it allows you to set time aside for those moments. And creativity happens when you're having fun, or even when you're allowing life to just be life. Even if you're going through something, you can find creativity out of even heartbreak or brokenness or healing. There's creativity, there's inspiration within those. And that's why I am also launching or really putting forward Less Well, which is the wellness portion of my experience and my brand of just slowing down and being very graceful with it, setting boundaries while not being rude about it, but allowing people to also set boundaries. Boundaries is really good. It helps protect you. It helps you to say no, and it helps to avoid resentment. And everybody knows it helps to prevent burnout. Okay, no one wants that. Burnout is it's we're done for that. And I just wanted to thank you so much for joining me on this new chapter of slowing down. And as I share my reflection on all the amazing things that I have done last year and the podcast episodes that I've been able to create, I want to ask you, is there anything that you would like to prioritize this year? Think to yourself, that's one of the questions, your homework. So now I'm going to be giving y'all homework. So one of your assignments is just to sit down and ask yourself, what do I want to do this year? What are my intentions? Not a New Year's resolution, but an actual, if I am doing one thing, what is it for? What am I working towards? If you're listening to this episode, what are you listening to this episode for? What key tools, skills, recommendations, or resources are you looking to receive from this podcast? Yes, you can hold me accountable. You can send me a message and you can comment what you would like to hear or who would you like me to interview. And so that way you can have some insight on their journey and their experience within their craft and this industry. Thank you for sitting with me today. The Art of Braids is continuing. There's nothing changing about it, except it will be with more space, more care, and more depth. If this episode resonated with you, I hope you take a moment to ask yourself where you might be able to move with a little more intention this year. Until next time, rest well.